Hi, my name is Jenna Beard, and I'm a freshman at Clemson University. I attended the new student dialogue entitled, "I'm Sexy and I Know It, Strong Men and Beautiful Women." This dialogue took place on November 5th, 2013. The dialogue was focused on people, and that while all people are different, they also share certain qualities. This dialogue also emphasized that even people who are completely different in almost all aspects of life usually have at least one thing in common. Stereotypes were also discussed. The group came to a conclusion that stereotypes are more often not true than they are true, and some don't even make sense. For example, one of the stereotypes was that all people that speak Spanish are Mexican. This is not a valid statement at all, seeing as the Spanish language is derived from Spain, not Mexico. Other crazy stereotypes were brought up, and many were so absurd that the group could do nothing but laugh. Overall, I feel my group did a pretty good job of achieving true dialogue. Dialogue, by definition, is a conversation between two or more people. Dialogue is non-argumentative and is accepting of others' viewpoints. The group I was a part of did a good job of conversing. There were no arguments, and everyone was very accepting of others' opinions. There were people of several different types of ethnicities, religions, and sexual orientations in the group, but all of us got along really well. There were no cross words or negative exchanges between anyone in the group. Everyone shared their opinion. If someone did not agree, they would speak up, but instead of telling the other person that they were wrong, they would simply say, "That's how you feel, but I feel this way." Everyone was very respectful of others. My group also had a pretty good dynamic. Many people spoke up, and more than one view was shared for each topic of discussion. There were several active voices in my group, meaning there were several people that spoke up and answered every question posed to the group. There were also more reserved people in my group that did not speak up as much. While there were some reserved voices, no one sat there the entire time without saying anything. Everyone spoke up and shared their opinion at least once. My role in the group was somewhere in between active and reserved. I did not answer every question, but at the same time, I shared my opinion on many topics. I did not feel it was necessary to speak up on every topic because some of the topics weren't very applicable to my life. I believe the new student dialogue is part of CU 1000 because it brings students together that otherwise may have never met, and it allows them to have conversations with no judgment. It also shows the students that they have more in common with each other than they would have originally believed. There were people there that I did not think, on first glance, that I had anything in common with, but by the end of the dialogue, I discovered that we were very similar people. It was an interesting experience, and I learned some things about my peers, but I wouldn't really consider it a useful tool in my Clemson experience. While there were interesting discussions, and many opinions were shared, the topics chosen were cliché, such as religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and gender roles. So I had heard almost each opinion prior to the new student dialogue. This experience would be much more useful if the topics discussed were less common and more prevalent to daily issues faced in college rather than just popular social issues. My favorite part of the new student dialogue, though, was when my group talked about stereotypes. There were posters around the room labeled with different groups of people, such as athletes, overweight, underweight, transgender, Asian, white, black, Native American, transsexual, skinny boy, skinny girl, and Latino/Latina. Each person in the group was given 5 sticky notes and asked to pick 5 of the posters to write a stereotype for and stick the sticky note onto the poster. Then, after all the sticky notes were put on the poster, we went around the room and looked at the stereotypes. Then the group circled up and talked about the stereotypes and how none of them were true for the entire group of people or for just that group of people. Then, before the dialogue was over, we went around and took down 5 of the stereotypes that we found to be most ridiculous or most untrue. By the time everyone walked out of the classroom, no stereotypes remained on the posters. I thought this was really interesting, and it showed me that stereotyping is wrong and shouldn't be done, because most of the time, the stereotypes aren't true at all. That's what I took from my new student dialogue. I hope this vlog was helpful in discussing whether new student dialogues are important or not and what they teach students. Thanks.